Hey there, this is Dosta, welcoming you back to the Lifetime Burn Meditation. This is day 37. I've got a really busy day today. Wednesdays usually are. Starting early, going all day at school, making music, learning how to play the piano, and I'm very much looking forward to sharing this update with you. When you burn, move your body. Doesn't matter if there's music or not, just move your body. Moving your body is foundational. Sometimes you need to stretch your legs. Sometimes you need to move your hips around. Hips are central to getting rid of the nooks and crannies, getting the blood circulating. And sometimes you need to scrunch your face. Sometimes you need to, just have a stretch and have a wiggle and, get some oxygen around the blood. That's very simple, very easy. Even if you just do it for a few minutes, you can open up quite a lot. So that's the reminder for today. Move your body. If you want to go the extra mile, put some music on and move your body to the music. That is one of the central parts, one of the pillars of the burn meditation. So that's a nice reminder. Let's get through some of the things on the agenda. Donald Trump has just been found out to be ciphering money directly from the supporters of the American 250th celebration. So he's created a fraud system where he's named his entity Freedom 250 instead of naming it America 250. And so supporters of the celebration have been sending money to his corporation or his financial institution instead of the celebration. So this is just another instance of fraud out of many that Trump has been found to have done. And of course, there's too much to keep up with, right? It's going to take years for the justice system to really track down. And historians will be studying Trump long into the future, yeah? He will face the music long after he's dead. People will all find out and know about the truth of his corruption. It will be documented, there will be books written about it, and it will become common knowledge. Just like we find all historical figures, sooner or later, people just realize, right? They just see. Now, of course, a lot of the historical figures, I don't want to name names, most of them, in fact, didn't face justice in their time. They didn't face the music while they were alive. It was long after they were dead that we saw what they were, really. And that's probably going to be the case for Trump, unfortunately. Also in the news, we saw Taylor Swift's wedding. Quite a ridiculous... I didn't see any of it. I just sort of heard about it. But of course, what I heard was that it was this ridiculous, absolutely over-the-top, massive stadium, dozens of paparazzi, and it's just a spectacle of the celebrity culture like we have almost never seen before. We've seen it before. It happens every now and then that a celebrity does something this big, but yeah, it's like we're so used to celebrity culture just being over the top. And we've seen it all before. It's a tale as old as time. And, we look back and how is this going to look in history? It's like, you shrug your shoulders. How is this going to look? Elizabeth Taylor was the same in her time, right? Who was Elizabeth Taylor? Do you even remember who Elizabeth Taylor was? Have you even seen her movies? Do you even remember how much admiration and love and fantasticalness and sensationalism was around Elizabeth Taylor, right? Now it's just Taylor Swift. Funny that they're both called Taylor. But that was in the news. I'm also seeing in my newsfeed this thing about Ben Shapiro being not popular anymore. And I'm just like, well, why was he even popular to begin with? Why was he even given such a voice to begin with? He's very much hard-lined on a small, closed perspective. He's got a very narrow value sphere and a very narrow take on politics. It's like you have a left hand, you have a right hand, so why take sides in politics? So every time I see another video suggestion about Ben Shapiro becoming unpopular, I just think, well, too little, too late. Why was he popular to begin with? Listen to people who are more expanded with their mind, larger perspectives, comparative politics, comparative religion, comparative paradigms of value spheres and structures and perspectives and understandings of of reality, of how the world works. Take a look at spiral dynamics. Like, don't people know about spiral dynamics? Like, haven't you understood this thing of the belief structure and how it sits in relation to the rational sphere and how that sits in relation to multi-perspectival, pluralistic sphere, postmodernism, and how that is different to the postmodernism or the multi-perspectival viewing of the world to the yellow sphere, the multidimensional sphere, and how that's different again to turquoise, which is the collective multidimensional sphere. You're like, why don't people understand this? This is old news. This is old news, and yet still people don't know it. I also know that I have got a number of comments that I haven't responded to. I will get to them sometime today or tomorrow. I'm just very busy today. And then I'm also wanting to talk about what it's like to fit in with society, because what I notice is that with these people who are popular online, people who are in the mainstream like Donald Trump or Taylor Swift or Ben Shapiro, they all have some sort of performative drama around them. They have some sort of sensationalism or controversy or spectacle or something, and it's like, well, people don't want to listen to a guy who's just sitting in his car sharing personal insight, sharing truth about what it means to feel authentic, what it means to learn to understand, like, what's going on with this mind and this body and this ability to actually look through eyes and perceive the world. People don't have that in the mainstream. People don't make that popular. And it's like, well, what can I do? Should I create my spectacle? Should I put on a performative thing? Should I do a publicity stunt to try and get this message across, to try and grow this channel? Like, I'm trying to grow this YouTube channel. Like, I'm actually trying, right? And it's like, well, how do you actually try? How do you actually learn to get the message across without compromising it? And pretty much what I'm finding is that you can't do it without compromising. You can't get into the mainstream without selling your soul, right? There's something which is why we all sense this thing of the toxicity of the celebrity culture. So fitting in with society and this dilemma of being a unique person who is quite different and quirky and, sometimes goofy is, are many things, including goofy. But, this is a foundational sort of thesis in my worldview. It's a foundational thing, which is, this uniqueness contending with the popular culture or the collective society. It's an ongoing thing, and we're going to discuss it more. There's a lot more that I have to say about that. Now, we're also seeing in America at the moment, because it's summer over there, it's winter here in Australia, but over there it's summer, we're seeing rising temperatures, and a lot of models are seeing that we're going to have record high summer temps, not just for this year, but for the coming years. And this is another indication of climate change. Now, climate change we've been talking about since I was in primary school, or I was in early high school, yeah? So this has been coming for 20 years or more. We've been knowing that this has been happening for quite a long time. And if you go back, there are documentaries, even in the 80s and the 70s, or even in the 60s, of the effects of fossil fuels on the climate. We have known about climate change for a very long time, and now it's sort of getting to the point where it's a little bit beyond like, oh yes, summer is a little bit more hot. Now, what's it going to be if it's even hotter? What's it going to be when the grid starts to stress, when people start having heat stroke on a more regular basis, yeah? There's a very critical sort of point where it's no longer like, oh yeah, it's very hot this summer. now it's actually a critical point. There's a crisis point coming, and we start to feel it. So lots more I want to share. That's a little bit of an update of some of the sporadic bits and pieces. I know it's a bit of a collage and a bit of a mess, but it's all I have time for now. I'll be back very soon. Please do subscribe, leave more comments, click the like button. I'm looking for your support, and I'll talk to you very soon.